Alright, so here's our next little tutorial. So this one uses using our z-score formula to figure out what a different number might be. So we've been using it to figure out what x is. So in a problem such as where we have so if I have a quiz score, so we're trying to figure out our quiz score. Okay, sorry, lost my train of thought. So we're trying to figure out what our quiz score is. We know that the mean is 78. We know our standard deviation is 4.5, and we know that the score is 2.3 standard deviations above the mean. So that phrase, so I know that my score is 2.3 standard deviations above the mean. So in other words, that means my z-score is a positive 2.3. So do not confuse this phrase above the mean to be our quiz score, which that's actually our x value we're looking for. So if I plug into my formula, 2.3 equals x minus 78 divided by 4.5, and then go ahead and solve for x. So the first thing I need to do, I need to get rid of the 4.5, so I'm going to multiply both sides. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So that cancels on that side. So x minus 78 equals, oops, let me get my calculator here, sorry. So 4.5 times 2.3 is 10.35, and then I'm going to add 78 to both sides. So x equals 88.35. Now, if I look at this in terms of my graph, with my curve, here's my mean. So here was 78. And if I add 4.5 each time, so 82.5, 87, 91.5, then we can see that my 88.35, well, that falls here. And we can see that's more than 2 standard deviations. So it's between 2 and 3 standard deviations right there. So that would be that green. So this would be that green line right there. Okay, so it does seem reasonable. All right, let me switch screens and do another one real quick for you. Okay, so let's say this time we know that our score is, so let's say we know our score is 78. And we know our standard deviation, let's say our standard deviation is 5. And I know that my score is 0.4 standard deviations below the mean. Okay. Now this time, we gotta figure out, we don't know the mean. That's what we're trying to find this time. So we could do this a couple of different ways, we do it the same way. Plug into our formula. So now again, since the score is 0.4 standard deviations below, that means that z equals a negative 0.4. Negative because I'm below. So plug in. So negative 0.4 is going to equal 78 minus the mean divided by 5. And now we just solve like we did the last one, except this time we're looking for the mean. So while we've been looking for x most of the time, we can use this formula to solve for one of the other values. So if I go ahead and multiply both sides here by 5, so that cancels on this side. So 78, oops. Okay, so I get 78 minus the mean, and 5 times 0.4, a negative 0.4, sorry, negative 2. And then if I subtract 78, so I get a negative mean equals a negative 80. So divide by a negative 1. So the mean equals 80. And if I look at my curve again, so here was the mean, and I knew that standard deviation is 5. So this would be 80, and this would be 75, and 78. Well, 78 falls right in between, right? So it makes sense that, one, it's negative because I am on the left-hand side, and it's not too far. So this is again, how I can use this formula and kind of look at my graph to see if it is a reasonable answer or not. So when doing these other word problems, my suggestion, I would list out all of these features list out all the values for all the different variables, and then just plug into your formula and solve for the one that you're looking for. Okay, so again, I hope this helps, and you can answer the next couple of questions on this Google form so that you can do okay on the quiz tomorrow, okay?